What's going on, guys? I'm back here for part 3 of this glove hunt, and this will be the last video in this little series as I have made my decision. So what I have on the table before me is the same two gloves from the last video. I have the Knox Handroid Pod and I have the Dainese 4-stroke gloves, Mark II. So I haven't returned those two yet. The one that I've decided and the one that I'm gonna keep is this guy in the middle right here. And I briefly mentioned it at the end of the last video where I compared these two head to head, and it is the Knox Oulton Mark II. And I'm just gonna take this video to hopefully be a nice, concise list of the features that this provides and why I'm choosing it over these other two, which are actually the more premium options. So if you want any more details on the Dainese glove or the Handroid Pod, you can go ahead and watch the previous video that I put out. I want to say it was last week or a couple weeks ago. I go in depth on both of these and compare their features, but you're going to see a lot of the features carry over from the Handroid into the Oulton, and not so much with the Dainese, just the choice of materials is different. So to keep the video short, I'm going to ditch these and make sure I don't talk about them too much. If you want to know more about these, watch the previous video. But getting into the Oulton. So this glove comes in at $159. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think it's the best value for money out there, that if you're willing to spend that amount of money, I think this is the glove that you should get. If you have watched the first video in this series, I talked about two REV'IT gloves, the Cayenne and the RSR4. And those gloves both came in at comparable prices to this one. I believe they were at $159 and $149. And I'm just going to say right now, I think this is a far superior glove to both of those. I kind of wish that I would have had this one while I had the other two in my possession, so I could have put them all side by side and had them all in the same video. But I'm just going to tell you why I think this is better. So let's start palm side up. You got touchscreen compatibility here and here. Coming down, you do have some perforations. You do have the same palm that you'll find on the Handroid. It's got that same textured hexagonal material that I said I preferred over what was on the Dainese. So it's got that along the entire palm essentially. So that's pretty great. I really don't have any issues with how I think it's going to wear over time. It feels nice. It's very tactile. The glove itself has great feel, great dexterity. Going down, you still do get the two hard palm sliders that you get on the Handroid, which is nice. That's a feature that Knox have, I think, over most brands. They actually incorporate two, whereas most other brands just incorporate the one, as in right here. So very nice to see that you still get both of those. You do have a wrist strap right here because this is a full gauntlet style glove. It's going to continue up your forearm longer than the other two short cuff options. So you get a wrist closure here to cinch it down behind your palm and where your wrist tapers down if you want that nice snug fit. And then this little flap kind of sits over that Velcro in case you do slide. It's not just going to rip the Velcro off. It's just a little bit of protection. Under that, we have this gauntlet section with a very large TPU hard slider on your outer forearm. And this covers your entire forearm from one side all the way around to the other. And that's something that I haven't really seen on other gloves in this price range at all. Just the amount of protection that this offers and the amount of comfort that you get for this price, I think is outstanding. So I guess that's it for this side. We do have our Velcro here. The only thing and one criticism I do have on this glove in general is that I'm a medium. This is a size medium. These Velcro straps, if I do really cinch them down tight, how I would like to wear the glove, there is a bit extra. See that right there? Just where it sits. I don't know if my wrists are a bit thinner. If I have this over a jacket, let's say, it's probably gonna create some sort of space and fill this void right here. So I won't need to cinch it down as far. So it'll fix the problem a little bit, but in general, I've just noticed that these Velcro straps are a little bit long compared to other ones out there. But that's a minor complaint. I think if that's the only thing that's negative about the glove, then this is a 10 out of 10, like highly recommend. So continuing on back on the back side of the glove here, we have that same forearm protection on this side. And something that I hadn't mentioned before about Knox specifically, but under all of their hard slider material, whether it's on your knuckle, on the palm, or on this forearm protection right here, They do have their proprietary, I want to say it's called Microlock or Microlink. Maybe I can read it on here. Whatever it is. Their armor, it's basically their D30 competitor, which I hear is, you can actually see it right here. It's yellow through there, and then it's white through here under these hard protectors. I've heard that their protectors and their armor is actually superior to D30 just because it functions better at lower temperatures. That's something that they take into consideration being manufactured in the UK. They have a lot lower temperatures and a temperature cycle compared to some glove brands here in the US. So they claim that it's more flexible and it doesn't get rigid when the temperatures drop. So I guess take that for what it's worth. I still wouldn't buy one glove over another just because it had one type of armor over the other. But as a whole, I think this package is great. Just some information for you there. So continuing up here, we do have a little bit of accordion leather here around your wrist, which actually does a great job. I think this is very flexible. Both gloves, the dexterity that you get while getting the protection of a full gauntlet in this, I think is just really great. You do have a vent under here with some mesh on the back of your hand, which does provide some flexibility when you make a fist. It keeps it from just yanking your wrist and all this part of the glove up, and it kind of just pivots around your knuckles, which is really nice. Big hard protector on your knuckles. I have no hot spots personally, which is really nice. It fits my knuckles really well. You do have some rubber accents right here on the backs of the fingers. Not hard protection. That's not something that they offer at this price point or with this glove like they do with the Handroid, but that's totally fine with me. I think these are more for aesthetics than actual protection, but I think just the general thickness of the leather and the fact that you have the accordion here on the back of the knuckles, I think is going to provide plenty of resistance to any sort of abrasion that you may need on the backs of your fingers. So that's pretty much it for features. There is reinforced leather here. It doesn't have those cutouts that I had mentioned before on the pod that kind of enable your pinky to bend. But for some reason, I don't know if the leather is just less thick on this glove or if maybe not double reinforced in that area. But the dexterity and the way that it feels, I can move my fingers so much more easily than I can in the pod. So this is really not an issue for me, this little reinforced patch not having those cutouts. But putting all of these on side by side, what I really noticed is the amount of resistance my fingers have when trying to move, pulling these little articulations from the back of the Handroid. And putting one on this hand and one on the other hand of the Oulton and the Handroid, I really noticed that this feels like I'm not wearing a glove at all. Just the ability I have to move my fingers and like do whatever I want. They're really not restricting at all. The materials are very supple. The leather feels like it's almost pre-broken in already. I can't stress the comfort enough on this glove for the amount of protection that it provides. So that's something comparably with this that completely took this out of the running for me. If I would have never tried this glove on, I probably still would have said, oh, this is extremely comfortable. I think it's got great feel and I have great mobility in my hands. But now that I've put this on and I've worn it for a little bit, this just feels like good. And the fact that it's over $100 cheaper than the Handroid Pod while offering more protection and more armor, I think is just a win. So that's pretty much it for this glove. I wanted to keep this video a bit shorter. I can also go through and review the rest of my gear. If you guys are interested, I might come out with a few videos in the next coming weeks with my my jacket of choice, my helmet, pants and shoes / boots. So if you're interested in that, feel free to leave a comment and I can make a video on those as well. But that concludes the glove hunt. I'm gonna go ahead and send back the Dainese 4-stroke and the Knox Handroid pods. I still think they're great contenders. They're just not for me personally. They didn't fit me the way I wanted and feel the way that I wanted. But as far as value for money, I think you really can't beat the Knox Oulton Mark II. So if you have a chance to go in person and try one on, the Cycle Gear near me has them in person. So I was able to go in and get my size, figure out that I'm a medium and then grab that medium. Otherwise, I think it runs true to size. If you're normally a medium in any other size glove, whether that be Dainese, REV'IT, Alpine Stars, I would say that just order a medium in this and you'll be all set. So thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one.